had cuts in her hands. She had cuts in her face. She stood by a bar from which she'd been banned. She cried for a man as she hung round that place. She wore a pink jacket with tatty old lace. Her hair was all knotted, the colour of sand. She had cuts on her hands. She had cuts on her face. By that Beresford bar she wailed and paced. Though she drunk so much booze it took effort to stand. She cried for a man as she hung round that place. She stumbled. I offered my arm as a brace. I asked of her problems, and her stories began. She had cuts in her hands. She had cuts in her face. She told me of wanting to get off freebase, how she slept by the tracks just down off the Strand. She cried for a man as she hung round that place. She'd stole from her dealer, he quickly gave chase. She'd jumped from a bridge, she was lucky to land. She had cuts in her hands, she had cuts in her face. Then she asked me for dollars and offered a taste. Said that I'd help her get out of a jam. She cried for a man as she hung round that place. I'd no money to give, so she punched at my waist. Then she staggered towards the Grafton Bridge span. She had cuts in her hands. She had cuts in her face. And she cried for a man as she hung round that place.